Yeah.
Because when you laugh, you start like breathing, and then it like builds warm air. It's the warm air that like kind of funnels this shit. So one was that. The other thing, there weren't enough people there that were like on board with it. So I think there's like a threshold that you need at least 30 people to like it right from the start for the rest of the 70 to fucking love it. And what we were probably at was like 20%. And so the other 80% were like, nope, you're not part of the majority that we want to be part of.
Weird.
It's a weird thing that I think I'm right about.
Yeah, right on. I've never been able to figure out the way audiences deal with stuff, and so I've kind of stopped worrying about it, and I just do what I want to do, and it works out or it doesn't. I'm not ever even really concerned about what the audience's reaction is, so much as I'm concerned about the way it looks on stage. If it looks good, and I know that I'm putting out a good product, then I don't give a shit what anyone says.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The one thing I would say is I'm only caring about what the audience is thinking, only because I want the audience to think a thing. But not because I care about the audience that I'm going to perform it for, but because I want the audience to think something.
Yeah.
So it's like you're bouncing between those two.
That being said, awkwardness perhaps begets awkwardness. Perhaps they were awkward.
They might have felt awkward. They might not have hated the show. I don't know. They seemed to kind of cheer at the end, but they didn't get the vibe of it. So
well,
I don't know.
If there was a live audience for the Eric Andre show,
that's kind of
I can't imagine that would be uproarious laughter the whole time. I feel like it would just get smaller. Because like they also interview those guests for like an hour and a half and just whittle it down to like the worst 4 minutes of it. But yeah, it's like
I get very tense when I watch the Eric Andre show.
Oh yeah. Have you? So are you the kind of writer that like when you write something like you write a sketch, you know where the jokes or where the laugh is supposed to happen? Like like that's exactly where that has to be.
Occasionally, I've written sketches where if I pre-plan that sketch, I know exactly where those jokes should be. Yeah. Whether I get them right or not doesn't necessarily matter. Or well, no, it does matter. I just don't do it necessarily every time because you just don't. But one of my favorite sketches are the ones where I don't really know where I'm going, and they just end up working away, and I'm like, oh, here's the jokes that just kind of appear in this.
Yeah,
I think those are more organically better, and I think audiences enjoy those more. So I try to push myself towards that. Because if you start thinking about it, I think you start ultimately removing what comedy is, which is like kind of surprising yourself. I mean, think about when you do improv.
Indeed. Yeah, that's improv.
When shit comes out of your mouth, you're like, where the fuck did that come from? That's the funniest thing I've ever said. It's never what you thought so hard about.
Mm-hmm. So that's just like your improv training coming into play, where you're just sitting there just spitballing.
The other thing, always write with paper and pen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's slower, so you have to actually think about your words, and each word is important. That's a journalism thing that when I was in high school I did journalism.
Well, I typed like this, so I think.
But you're still thinking a lot as you put each one of them down because you're like, "Where's that U? Oh, here it is." But you're not thinking about the text and the art.
For everyone listening,
and never forget the art.
Think like your grandmother typed in the 90s.
I can't write too often. My hands just start hurting. I was writing for maybe 5 or 10 minutes in sketch 2, and I just couldn't anymore.
It's
really
it's
lack of exercise.
It's a harmadillo.
Oh.
I don't think it's
you had it in the chamber.
Yeah.
I love looking at my own.
That's number 3, and I'm done. That's all my puns for tonight. I cashed out at 3.
Okay, one thing I would love to hear before we wrap up is I want to hear everybody else's first kiss stories, because we heard Kyle's, and now I want to hear yours.
Yeah. Don't leave me hanging.
Wait. Yeah.
Sorry, Wendell. Delia.
It was in 7th grade. It was this dirtbag who I had a crush on, and it was just on the 2nd floor. I think it was after school, so everybody had already. It was 10 minutes after school, but it's the most deserted. And then it happened really quickly, and my eyes were closed. And then it happened. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then.
And his name was.
Nope.
Did you date him, or did you just kiss and then that was it and you never spoke again?
No, we dated. We dated for an amount of time that really I don't even follow anymore because it's not accurate.
Okay.
Well, because it was 7th grade, but what do you do in 7th grade? You can't do anything because you're 12. So it's I almost count he was my first boyfriend, I guess technically, but I don't really think that he was my first boyfriend because I was 12.
Okay.
You know, I realized I fucked up. I did kiss a girl. I got married to a girl technically in like 5th grade.
Delia, don't spit your fucking beer everywhere.
I realized I kissed before.
Yeah, but like I had a kiss in like 4th grade with some
but we
rando.
had sex too.
Oh. But my first kiss was later.
Yeah, so my first kiss was
no!
that was just the whole
Wendell,
thing.
you
I've been playing with
crazy
that all day. So my first kiss was at a skating rink because there was a really old, I'm talking like probably built in the late 60s skating rink in my hometown that we just never redesigned or updated the interior of, so it's just beat up shag and stuff, but it's where all the like redneck kids went to go make out in the dark. And I had a girlfriend in the sense of like this girl I saw at school, and we smiled at each other. Yeah, we would pass notes, you know. That was all of it. Well, it was like I also had this really redneck friend who liked to act all grown up, and he had this girlfriend that he was all like making out with all the time, like an idiot. Just like they're just both really bad at it. They're just jamming their tongues at each other.
Face smashing is what they call that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just wrapping their uvulas around one another.
No.
That's what I was saying. I don't know about you guys, but yeah. So we go to the skating rink, and it's like, hey, I know this guy. So I asked her to go to the skating rink just 'cause I was like, we're gonna hang out with this like really gross, overly affectionate couple, and it's gonna be like, hey, maybe me and Wendell should kiss or something. Was my thought.
That's a good thought. Right. Good.
So we get there, and it's just this like opium den of just teenagers being assholes and breaking arcade machines and like trying to get in the darkest corner while like You Dropped the Bomb on Me is playing or whatever. Like they still like playing these old vinyl records and shit too. And the whole night we were just staring at them making out because it was just so gross and obscene. And at the end of it, she was just like, "Hey, thanks for not like doing that to me." And I was just like, yeah. And then she just gave me one of those like real like right before she ran back into her house kind of, and it was a very TV show.
Yeah,
I mean, up to that point. And yeah, and so that went on for a little bit, and she had her friend bring me a note maybe a week later saying that we were broken up, and that's how that relationship ended. But got my first one.
What did you do
kiss.
to her? What was on your lips?
Well, what was on my lip?
Because clearly something happened.
I had greased it up. I had greased it up with fish oil.
Greased it up.
You know, like
Fish oil.
yeah. You know, like your grandpa gives you fish oil, and he's like, yeah, slip her the old greasy lips. And
It's a really old
Wendell,
fish tongue.
you know better than that.
Oh my god.
I do now. Looking back, it's like that's harmful to nature. You got to get synthetic fish oil.
Fish oil and the roller rink. These things go together for kissing.
Yeah, no, that place is still there and still looks the exact same. By the way, I went there recently. Like, there's my town bums me out, guys. It's a bubble. It's fresh. It's locked in time. You know what I mean?
Southern town. Small southern town.
But I grew up north, and we every summer would go to Maine, and there was like a small town that we hung out at there, and it was like very like, I mean, it's a like beach town that has a lot of summer residents, so it's fancy now, but it's a little towny kind of place, and they have a amusement park and a zoo of like deer and like raccoons.
So
But,
it's not a zoo,
So
it's just
no.
outdoors.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a park.
pretty much.
Kind of.
And but the arcade games and the rides in the other side are very real. And there were when I was a kid, we used to go there every summer, and we would hang out with all the Carney employees because we thought they were the coolest people in town. Hence, not so much, but we still befriended them forever. And then once upon a time, I'm about 15 or something, and this kid, I'm at the bumper cars, and this kid also at the bumper cars starts hitting me with his car and going, "Hey, what's up?" And when we got out of the bumper cars, we started like talking, and then he was like, "Walk me home," and I was like, I feel like this is the opposite of what the walking home situation is about, but I'm gonna go for this. And so I walked him home down this like really long, dark, like main, no lights sort of road. It was like a dirt road. And the whole time I'm thinking like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to walk back alone down this road. But anyway, we get halfway down and it's real dark, and all of a sudden he like grabs me and like grabs my butt and like lifts me up and then straight takes his tongue and just puts it in my mouth and leaves it there. And that's what happened, and I was like, I feel like more should happen here. And then he pulled it out and was like, yeah, and then did it again, and I was like, this isn't how it goes. I know it's not how it goes, but I'm going to go ahead and play along because I feel like this is just going to be easier for me to be like, you're great, and walk away. So then I said, you're great, and I walked away, and he went home, and I walked down the really dark thing, like street by myself. Later, I'm from Massachusetts, so he called me from wherever he lived, not Massachusetts, and was like, let's get together. I have a Maserati. I'll come pick you up. I love you. And I was all like, yeah, listen, you're great, but summertime, you know, you just have good times with people sometimes, and now it's over. So have a great life, and that was it. And his name was John Bover.
What did he...
Amy, he became a congressman. And he probably had that Maserati.
I bet he did.
How did you not get
Maserati.
swooned by that Maserati?
I don't know. There were a lot of guys in my life who I would make out with once and then immediately were like, I'm intoxicatedly in love with you. And I was like, nope, Ed, no. Bag it up. You like me too much.
Was he one of the carnival guys?
I get that.
No, he turned out to just be a guy that was like hanging out the way we were. He was from somewhere and he came for the summer to the place, and then he would hang out. He was like besties with the bumper car guy, and the bumper car guy was pointing him in the direction of cute ladies that he could make out with.
No, yeah, I was gonna say it's a shame because carnival folk are amazing kissers, but you know it's like
Really?
yeah, no, I mean tangentially, I guess you made out all right.
I didn't. The story is about how he doesn't know how to kiss.
Yeah, no, I mean, but like...
How he made his tongue a carrot and stuck it in her mouth.
Yeah.
A carrot.
How do you wag it? Web it.
That's what I'm saying.
So gross.
You can't make out with the friend of a carny because they don't know shit. But you survived, is what I'm saying.
What
Made out
happened to
all
you
right.
and a carny? I mean, like, don't get me wrong. You and the jorts make total sense. You and a carny still making sense. But I want to hear that story.
My legal team has advised me not to speak.
Oh!
No, I
Barnum and Bailey pussy, that's right.
got that.
That is here right now, by the way.
What?
Barnum and Bailey
the
pussy?
The Barnum and Bailey Pussy Act is here. There's cats and women without pants.
Watch these elephants come out of
All the pussy you can imagine. Literally the two words of pussy.
Just
On
lions
stage
and
together.
House cats, yeah.
Most of them on tight ropes. So you can see them all from an angle you're not used to seeing them from. You know what I mean? Either cats...
And way too far away.
It's just really weird. You're just like, man, wow, that you can see their side bellies. That's new.
Bring your kids! Bring your kids! It's for your children. Cats!
Wait, that really is in town though?
Yeah, no, it was. I
They don't do
drove by it
elephants
today.
anymore, do they?
I don't think so. It's at the Long
they're out of
Center,
the
so I
elephant
can't
game.
imagine they'd have elephants in the Long Center.
Yeah.
The Long Center is a cathedral for music here in Austin, Texas.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Comparable to the Grand Ole Opry, or
It makes the Grand Ole Opry look like a beaten down
double wide.
Guadalajara desert
What a lot.
for music.
Oh, like music is the water in this desert. And
Yes.
and
There's none of it!
there's zero
But the Long Center
waters.
is a gushing flow of music that has never stopped penetrating the ears of Austinites since 1992.
No matter how much we ask it to stop.
Finally, we're talking
Welcome
about
back.
penetration.
Oh my god, on that note, I feel like that's a good way to say goodbye to
Absolutely.
Kyle. On the
Yeah.
penetration note, any other thoughts you want our audience to know about you? People are going to listen and be like, I know Kyle now.
Yeah. You can listen to me at the Watson podcast.
Yes.
That's a week.